The late afternoon sun beat down on the parking lot of the Yineway Shopping Center as Jake Morrison held his daughter Emma's small hand. The 4-year-old clutched a small stuffed dolphin they'd just bought, her pigtails bouncing as she skipped alongside him. Jake had been out of the Navy for 3 years now, but certain instincts never left. The hypervigilance, the constant scanning, the ability to read a situation before it fully unfolded. Some called it paranoia. He called it survival. "Daddy, can we get ice cream?" Emma asked, her blue eyes hopeful. "Sure thing, kiddo. Let me just—" Jake stopped mid-sentence. 50 feet away, near a black van, 3 men surrounded a young woman in a red dress. Her body language screamed distress. She was trying to pull away, but they had formed a tight circle around her, blocking her path. One grabbed her arm. Another stepped closer, his posture aggressive. "Daddy?" Emma tugged his hand, sensing the shift in his demeanor. Jake's jaw tightened. Every fiber of his being told him to intervene, but Emma was with him. He couldn't put her in danger. He started to reach for his phone to call 911 when Emma's voice pierced through his hesitation. "Daddy, please help her." He looked down at his daughter's face, so innocent, yet so aware that something was wrong. In that moment, Jake realized this was one of those defining moments. What kind of man did he want Emma to see him as? What lesson would his action, or inaction, teach her? "Stay right here by this car, Emma. Don't move. Can you do that for Daddy?" Emma nodded solemnly, clutching her dolphin tighter. Jake approached with purposeful strides, his 6'2" frame and military bearing immediately commanding attention. As he got closer, he could hear the woman's voice, shaky but firm. "I said no. Please leave me alone." "Ma'am, is everything all right here?" Jake's voice cut through the tension like a knife. The 3 men turned. The one in the blue shirt, clearly the ringleader, sneered. "Mind your business, hero. We're just talking to our friend here." "I'm not your friend," the woman said quickly, her voice desperate. "I don't know these men. They won't let me leave." That was all Jake needed to hear. "Gentlemen, the lady wants to leave. I suggest you step aside." His voice was calm but carried the unmistakable tone of someone who had faced down far more dangerous situations than a parking lot confrontation. Blue Shirt laughed. "Or what, tough guy? There's 3 of us." Jake didn't move, didn't blink. "I'm only going to say this once more. Step aside." Something in his eyes must have registered because the man to the left shuffled back slightly. But Blue Shirt was either too proud or too stupid to back down. He stepped forward, chest puffed out. "You think you can—" The man never finished his sentence. In one fluid motion, Jake grabbed his wrist, twisted, and had him face down on the pavement in less than 2 seconds. The other 2 men froze, shocked by the speed and efficiency of the takedown. "I trained Marines in hand-to-hand combat for 8 years, Jake said calmly, keeping Blue Shirt pinned. "You really want to test the other 2 of you?" They didn't. They backed away, hands up, then turned and jogged toward the far end of the parking lot, abandoning their friend. "You're breaking my arm," Blue Shirt whined. "No, I'm not, but I can if you'd like." Jake looked up at the woman. "Are you okay? Did they hurt you?" She was shaking but nodded. "I'm okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. They followed me from the store, and when I got to my car, they surrounded me. I thought—" Her voice broke. "You're safe now," Jake assured her. "Did you call the police?" "I was trying to, but he grabbed my phone." By now, other shoppers had noticed the commotion. An elderly man was already on his phone, presumably with 911. Emma had stayed by the car watching with wide eyes. "Daddy!" she called out, and Jake's heart clenched. He'd kept her out of harm's way, but she'd still witnessed violence. He'd have to talk to her about this later. "Just a minute, sweetheart." The police arrived within 5 minutes. 2 patrol cars with lights flashing. Jake released Blue Shirt, who immediately started complaining about assault. But between Jake's calm explanation, the woman's tearful account, and statements from several witnesses, the narrative was clear. All 3 men were located and arrested for attempted kidnapping and assault. As the officers took statements, a sleek black SUV pulled into the parking lot. Out stepped a man in his early 60s, silver-haired, wearing khakis and a polo shirt. But there was something about his bearing, the way he carried himself, that screamed military. He approached Jake directly. "Commander Morrison?" Jake turned, surprised to hear his former rank. He studied the man's face and recognition dawned. "Admiral Cartwright?" "Retired now, same as you," the man said with a slight smile. "Though I heard you retired, as a lieutenant commander. Fine work today." "You saw what happened, sir?" "My wife did. She was in the car over there watching the whole thing unfold. She called me immediately. I was inside the store. By the time I got out here, you had already handled the situation." The Admiral extended his hand, and Jake shook it firmly. "I just did what anyone should do, sir." "But most don't," Admiral Cartwright countered. "Most people walk by, pull out their phones to record. Instead of help, you acted. You put yourself at risk to help a stranger. That's the kind of character the Navy tried to instill in every sailor, but not everyone truly embodies it after they leave the service." Emma had made her way over, curiosity overcoming her obedience. She tugged on Jake's shirt. "Daddy, who's this?" Admiral Cartwright knelt down to her level. "Hello there. I'm a friend of your daddy's from when he was in the Navy. What's your name?" "Emma, I'm 4. 4? That's a great age, and that's a very nice dolphin you have. His name is Splash. Daddy says dolphins are smart, just like Navy people." The Admiral chuckled and stood back up, his expression serious now. "Commander Morrison, Jake, I'm going to be direct with you. I'm currently on the board of the Veterans Crisis Center in San Diego. We provide support, resources, and opportunities for veterans transitioning to civilian life. We're also launching a new initiative, a training program for security professionals with military backgrounds. Given what I just witnessed, I think you'd be perfect for either utilizing our services or frankly helping us lead some of these programs." Jake was taken aback. "Sir, I appreciate that, but I have a good job at the logistics company. I'm not asking you to decide now," the Admiral interrupted gently. "But take my card. Think about it. What you did today showed judgment, restraint, and capability. Those skills shouldn't be wasted checking inventory, no offense to your current work." Jake accepted the card, slipping it into his pocket. "I'll think about it, sir. That's all I ask." The Admiral nodded to Emma. "You take care of your daddy, young lady. He's one of the good ones." As the Admiral walked back to his wife's car, the police finished taking Jake's statement. The woman he'd helped, whose name was Sarah, approached him one last time. "I don't know how to thank you," she said, tears still staining her cheeks. "If you hadn't been here—" "But I was," Jake said simply, "and you're safe. That's what matters." She hugged him briefly, then headed to her own car, escorted by an officer. Finally alone with Emma again, Jake picked up his daughter and held her close. "You okay, baby girl?" Emma wrapped her arms around his neck. "You were really brave, Daddy. Like a superhero." "I'm not a superhero, sweetheart. I'm just a daddy who believes in helping people when they need it. That's what superheroes do," Emma insisted with the absolute certainty only a 4-year-old could possess. Jake carried her back toward their car, his shopping forgotten. "You know what? You're right. And you were brave too, staying where I told you to stay. Are we still getting ice cream?" He laughed, the tension finally draining from his shoulders. "Absolutely, you earned it." That evening, after Emma was tucked into bed, Jake sat on his back porch, the Admiral's card in his hand. He thought about the life he'd built since leaving the Navy. Stable, quiet, predictable. He thought about the moment in the parking lot, the clarity of purpose he'd felt, the old training kicking in seamlessly. He thought about Emma asking him to help that woman, and what his response had taught her about standing up for others. The next morning, Jake made a phone call. Admiral Cartwright answered on the second ring. "Admiral, it's Jake Morrison, about that opportunity you mentioned." 3 months later, Jake was leading self-defense and crisis intervention workshops for veterans while maintaining his logistics job part-time. He had found a new sense of purpose, a way to serve that didn't require him to leave his daughter, but allowed him to make a real difference. And every time Emma saw him in his instructor polo with the Veterans Crisis Center logo, she'd beam with pride and say, "That's my superhero daddy." Some moments define us. Some choices ripple outward in ways we can't predict, all because a little girl asked her father to help someone in need, and he listened.